So, what we'll do now is we will focus on few questions that were asked in the UPSC prelims with regard to the basics of Parliament, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha. Now, as we have done throughout the videos, before we proceed ahead with the videos, we will try to recall what we have studied so far. Now, as we studied, it was in the year 1954 that the names Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha were added to refer to the Council of the States and the House of the People, respectively. Now, before that, we started with Article number 79, which states that there shall be a Parliament of India, which consists of the President, the lower house, and the upper house. Now, what is this lower house? This lower house is nothing but the Lok Sabha, and the upper house is nothing but the Rajya Sabha. Now, whom does this Rajya Sabha represent? This Rajya Sabha represents the states and union territories of the Indian Union, whereas the Lok Sabha represents the people of India as a whole. Now, I said that the parliament consists of the President of India also. But is the President of India the member of any one house of the parliament? The answer is no. But why is the president still an integral part of the parliament? We discussed this also because it is only with the signature of the president that any bill or any act is passed in the parliament. Now, having this Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it means that it is promoting the bicameralism in the Indian legislature. Now let us come to the election procedures of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha, the members are directly elected through something called as first past the post system. But what happens in Rajya Sabha? In Rajya Sabha, the members are indirectly elected. Through what? Through proportional representation system with a single transferable voting system. With a single transferable voting system. And we also discussed that the ballot is not going to be something called a secret ballot, rather, it is going to be something called as open ballot. Now, what is the minimum age criteria for Lok Sabha? In order to become a Lok Sabha member, it is 25 years, and in order to become Rajya Sabha member, it is 30 years. Now, what is the term of a Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha? In Lok Sabha, the term of this Lok Sabha is 5 years. That is for every 5 years, or after every 5 years, Lok Sabha is automatically going to get dissolved. Now, what is the term of Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha specifically has no term because Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. It is not going to get dissolved. But then, what about the term of members of Rajya Sabha? It is 6 years. That is what happens is after every 2 years, one third of the members of Rajya Sabha is going to get retired. Okay. Now, who is the presiding officer or the chair of these two houses? In Lok Sabha, the presiding officer of the house is somebody called as the speaker. And in Rajya Sabha, we call them as the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. Now, who is this chairperson? He or she is none other than the vice president of the India. Now, coming to the composition. In Lok Sabha, do we have any nominated members? The answer is no. See, we had two nominated members, but through 104th Amendment, there has been no nominated members. Rather, it is only elected members. Now the question is, do we have elected members from the union territories? The answer is yes. We have elected members from all the union territories. Okay, so 20 members represent 8 union territories in total. Now coming to Rajya Sabha, what is or who are the members of Rajya Sabha? What kind of members are they? They are nominated members as well as elected members. Now, does all the states and union territories has elected members? The answer is see, all the states has Rajya Sabha members, but does all the union territories has Rajya Sabha member? The answer for this is no. Now, why the answer for this is no? Because only those union territories which has the legislative assembly is going to have Rajya Sabha members, which means the union territories of Delhi, Puducherry, and Jammu Kashmir. Only these three union territories has the Rajya Sabha members. And then in Rajya Sabha, there are also 12 members who are nominated. Now, who are these 12 members? The people who are excelling in the field of art, literature, science, and social service. Now, who is going to nominate these members? These members will be nominated by the President of India. Now, is the decision of the President to nominate these members his or her own final decision? The answer is no. The decision of the President is taken on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Now, who are the voters in the Lok Sabha election? Any citizen of India who is above 18 years of age and whose name is found in the electoral roll can vote in the Lok Sabha election. What about Rajya Sabha election? In Rajya Sabha, the people directly do not vote. Rather, see, we vote the MLAs of the different states and union territories. Now, it is these MLAs of the different states and union territories who are the voters in the Rajya Sabha election. Now, let us come to the powers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has certain equal powers. It is for this reason that Rajya Sabha is not considered as the secondary house, rather it is considered as the second house. Now, what are the similar powers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, or where we find Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha on an equal footing? For an introduction and passage of ordinary bills, for the constitutional amendment bills, we find the powers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to be same. Next, for the election and impeachment of the president, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has same powers. Not just that, to make recommendations to the president for the removal of Chief Justice and judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, Chief Election Commissioner, and Controller and Auditor General, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has same powers. Not just that, in order to select the ministers, including the Prime Minister, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has same powers. We also explain this. Our present Prime Minister Narendra Modi is from Lok Sabha, whereas our ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was from Rajya Sabha. Now, what are the special powers of Lok Sabha? The special powers of Lok Sabha is that number one, a money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha does not have the power to introduce a money bill or any aspects with related to money bill. Rajya Sabha does not have any role to play apart from discussing on this money bill for a maximum of 14 days. Another thing is, let us assume there is a joint sitting due to a deadlock between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha on the matter of ordinary bills. Now, on this joint sitting, who presides over this joint sitting? It is the it is the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Now, with respect to the budgets also, Rajya Sabha can only discuss the budget, but cannot vote on the demand for grants in the process of budget. And the most important thing is, let us assume tomorrow the government is losing the confidence of the members of parliament, which means the no confidence motion can be initiated or can be passed only in Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha does not have any power with respect to this. Having said this, there are also certain things where we see the special powers of Rajya Sabha. Now, what are the special powers? We also discussed that the seventh schedule speaks about the three lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. Now, what is this union list? Only the parliament can make law on this. What is the state list? Only the state assemblies can make law on this. What is this concurrent list? Parliament as well as the state assemblies can make law on these bills. But what does Article 249 says? Let us assume there is a subject in the state list, but there is a national importance that has come up. In that case, the parliament can make a law on the state list. But who has to pass the resolution for this? The resolution for this purpose has to be passed by the Rajya Sabha. With what majority? With two-thirds of the members of Rajya Sabha present and voting. Another very important thing is, let us assume tomorrow a new All India service has to be created. Who has the power to create this All India service? It is again the parliament. But in order to create this new All India service, who has to pass the resolution? The answer for this is once again it is Rajya Sabha. With what majority? It is again the same as the above thing, that is the two-thirds members of the Rajya Sabha present and voting. And the most important thing is the resolution for the removal of the vice president can be introduced only in Rajya Sabha. See, the removal process will take part both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But who can initiate this? It is once again the Rajya Sabha only. Now, why Rajya Sabha only? Because it is this vice president who acts as the chairperson of Rajya Sabha. Now, having brushed what we have studied so far, what we'll do now is we will try to see a few questions that are asked in the UPSC prelims. Now, this question is from the year 2015. Consider the following statements. First statement, the Rajya Sabha has no power either to reject or to amend a money bill. So we discussed this saying that Rajya Sabha has no power apart from discussing the money bill. Now, what are they saying? Reject or amending the money bill. In this matter, is this statement correct? Yes, this statement is correct. Now, the next statement. The Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the demand for grants. This also we discussed, saying that Rajya Sabha can take part in the discussion of the budget, but can they vote in the discussion of the budget? The answer is no. The Rajya Sabha cannot vote in the discussion of budget. So Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the demand for grants. Now, we see that the first two statements are correct. Now, what is option A? Option says one only. There is no two. So this is wrong. So this is wrong. Now come to option B. Option B says one and two only. So both are correct as per our analysis. So let us keep it aside. Come to option C. Option C says two and three only. Now we know that two is correct. So they have said that three only. We have not discussed three until now. So let us keep it aside. Then there is option D, which says 1, 2, and 3 only. So we have analyzed 1 and 2, we have discussed 1 and 2, and we find that 1 and 2 are correct. But without going through the statement number 3, we cannot come to a conclusion. So what we have to do? We have to look into statement 3. Now, what is the statement 3? The Rajya Sabha cannot discuss the annual financial statement. Now, we discussed or we analyzed that Rajya Sabha can discuss the budget. What is the annual financial statement? Article 112. Nothing but budget. Rajya Sabha can Rajya Sabha discuss the budget? Yes, Rajya Sabha can discuss the budget. But can Rajya Sabha vote? No, Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the budget. But what are they asking? They are asking Rajya Sabha cannot discuss the budget or cannot discuss the annual financial statement. So this statement becomes wrong. So 3 is correct. Sorry, so 3 is wrong. If 3 is wrong, option C is gone and option D is gone. So that we see that 1 and 2 is correct. So option B is the correct answer. So this is question number 1. Now, let us go to the second question. What is the second question? This was asked in the year 2020 prelims. Rajya Sabha has equal powers with Lok Sabha. So this is also something that we discussed. Now let us come to option A. Now, what does option A says? Option A says it's a matter of creating new All India service. So, who has the power to create All India service? Parliament. But who has to initiate it? Rajya Sabha. So, can we say that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has equal powers? No. Rather, what we can say? We can say that Rajya Sabha has more powers. Let us come to option C. The removal of the government. Now, how is this removal done? One plain example is passing of no confidence motion. Now, who can pass this no confidence motion? Again, we discussed that it is Lok Sabha only. Why Lok Sabha only? Because it is the house of the people. We, the people, elect directly the representatives. So, this option to remove the government is given purely to who? Purely to the Lok Sabha. So, removal of the government is an exclusive power of Lok Sabha. So, it does not, Rajya Sabha does not have any power on this. So, we can say that Rajya Sabha does not have equal powers with Lok Sabha in this matter. So, option C is also wrong. Now come to option D. What is option D? Making cut motion. Now, what is this cut motion? This is something that is related to finance. We will be discussing this in detail in our coming videos. But what do we need to know now? We need to know that with respect to finance, does Rajya Sabha has any powers? No. So who has more power? It is Lok Sabha. So option D is also wrong. So come to option B, amending the constitution. So we discussed this also saying that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has equal powers in amending the constitution. So option B is correct. That is either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha can initiate a bill for amending the constitution. When such a bill is initiated, Lok Sabha has to pass it separately with a special majority, that is two-third majority. Rajya Sabha also has to pass it through a special majority, that is two-third majority. Let us assume Lok Sabha passes, Rajya Sabha does not pass, or Rajya Sabha passes and Lok Sabha does not pass. In this matter, is there a provision for something called as joint sitting, as the one we see in the ordinary bills? The answer is no. In case of constitutional amendment bills, there is no provision for joint sitting. Now the question is, Lok Sabha passes, Rajya Sabha also passes. It goes to the president to his signature. Should the president mandatorily sign, or can the president send it back? The answer is no. The president has to mandatorily sign on this constitutional amendment bill. It was said in the 24th Amendment of 1971. So the answer here is option B. Now, let us go to the next question. This is of 2019 prelims. Now, I forgot to tell you one thing. Whenever you see a question, the first important thing is to find out if the keyword that they have asked is correct or incorrect. Now, we have seen that the keyword here is correct. Okay, you have to mark it. Now, coming to the question, consider the following statements. The Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959 exempts several posts from disqualification on the grounds of office of profit. Yes, we discussed this in detail, and we also discussed that this particular act has kept several posts away from disqualification on the ground of office of profit. Where do we find office of profit? Article 102 in the Constitution of India. So first statement is correct. If first statement is correct, can I say option B is wrong? Because option B says 3 only. Option C is also wrong because option C says 2 and 3 only. Now, second statement, the above mentioned act was amended 5 times. Now, do we know if it is amended 5 times? No, we do not know how many times it has been amended. So let us keep it aside. Let us keep it aside on a standby, and let us come to the third statement. The term office of profit is well defined in the Constitution of India. Is it mentioned in the Constitution of India? Yes, it is mentioned, Article 102. But is it defined? What is Office of Profit in the Constitution? The answer is no. It is not defined in the Constitution. What is Office of Profit? Rather, where it is defined? It is once again defined in the same, the Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act of 1959. So, third statement is wrong. The third statement is wrong. Option D is also wrong. Now, if option D is also wrong, then what is the only option left? That is 1 and 2 only is correct. Now, if 1 and 2 is correct, so this is some additional knowledge that you have to get, that the Office of Profit or the Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act of 1959, it has been amended 5 times so far. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Now, let us come to the next question. This is of 2017 prelims. Now, for election to the Lok Sabha, nomination paper can be filed by whom? Now, what is this nomination paper? Nomination paper means, let us assume tomorrow you want to contest in Lok Sabha election. If you want to contest in Lok Sabha election, you have to apply for that, right? When there is UPSC civil service exam, can you directly go and write this UPSC civil service exam? The answer is no. What you have to do? Rather, you have to first apply for it. Similarly, if you want to contest in the Lok Sabha election, you have to first apply for it. Now, how is this application done? It is done through something called as nomination paper. So the question is, in the Lok Sabha election, who can file this nomination paper? Now, option A, anyone residing in India. Now, let us assume there is a person from US. For his work, he has come to Bangalore and he has been staying in Bangalore for 10 years. Can this person file the nomination paper for Lok Sabha election? The answer is no, he cannot file. Next, option B, a resident of the constituency from which the election is to be contested. That is, let us assume there is a constituency called as Bangalore South. Okay, there is a constituency called as Bangalore South. Let us assume a person who wants to become a member of parliament from Bangalore South. Should this person also be from Bangalore South? No, that person need not be from Bangalore South. What example can I give you? Where is our Prime Minister Narendra Modi from? He's from Gujarat. But where is he contesting his Lok Sabha election from? From Varanasi, that is in Uttar Pradesh. So this option B is also wrong. Come to option C. Option C says any citizen of India. That is any form of citizen of India whose name appears in the electoral roll of a constituency. That is, they're saying this person who is going to file the nomination paper for Lok Sabha is a citizen of India. Yes, agreed. This person has to be a citizen of India, number one. Number two, what is the second qualification? This person's name is appearing in the electoral roll of a constituency. That is not in one specific constituency, rather in any of the constituency, this person's name is found. Is it correct? Yes, it is correct. But can we skip option D? No, we should not do that mistake of skipping option D. So what we can do? We can go through option D. What is option D telling? Any citizen of India. Let us assume there is a citizen of India like me or you who has who is a citizen of India, but we have not got a voter ID. We have not enrolled ourselves in the electoral roll. Can we file the nomination? No, we cannot file the nomination. So what is the answer? The answer is option C. That is any citizen of India whose name appears in the electoral roll of the constituency. What is the other qualification criteria? That is, any person who wishes to file the nomination for Lok Sabha has to be of how many years of age? 25 years of age. And for Rajya Sabha, it is 30 years of age. Similarly, in the state legislative assembly election, it is 25 years. And in the state legislative council election, it is 30 years. Now, let us go to the next question. This is of 2016 prelims. The Parliament of India acquires the power to legislate on any item in the state list in the national interest if a resolution to that effect is passed by whom? That is the question. Now we know that as per the seventh schedule of the Constitution of India, there are three lists: union list, subject state list, and concurrent list. Now, who can make laws on this union list? Subjects like banking, defense, etc. It is only the central government who can make laws on this union list. Now come to something called a state list. Things like agriculture, things like local self-government. Now, who can make laws on this state list? That is only the state legislative assemblies. Then there is something called as concurrent list. Now, who can make laws on this concurrent list? That is both the parliament as well as the state legislatures can make the laws on this concurrent list. Now, what is this question? This question says that if there is something of a national interest that has come up, in that case, can the parliament make a law on the state list? We have discussed this and we have said yes. In that case, the parliament can make a law on the state list. But what is the question that is asked? Through what means? This also we have discussed. But now let us see the options. Option A says Lok Sabha by a simple majority. Lok Sabha by simple majority of its total membership. Now is it Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? It is Rajya Sabha. So directly you can eliminate this. So what is option B telling? Option B is also telling Lok Sabha by a majority of not less than two-thirds of its total membership. That is, it is speaking about the two-third majority. But again, it is speaking about Lok Sabha. Is it Lok Sabha? No, it is not Lok Sabha. It is Rajya Sabha. So option B is wrong. Now come to option C. Option C also says Rajya Sabha. Underline it. Option D also says Rajya Sabha. But there is a difference in the majority that is required. In option C, they are telling through simple majority. What is simple majority? Majority of the total members present and voting. But we have discussed that this is something that requires not less than two-thirds of the members of Rajya Sabha present and voting. So option D is the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer. Clear? Now let us come to the next question. That is question number 5, and this will be the last question. Okay, this will be the last question in this video. Now this question is not about Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Rather, this question is about the parliamentary form of government that we have discussed. Okay. Now, when was this question asked? 2013 prelims. Now, the first thing that you need to note down, they're asking correct answer. They're asking what? They're asking correct answer. So, you have underlined that also. Now, let us come to the statement. Statement number 1. Members of the cabinet are the members of the parliament. Now, let us take realistic examples. Always remember, in polity, try taking realistic examples. Now, who are the members of the present cabinet? in the central government. Okay. There is Prime Minister, there is Finance Minister, Home Minister, Defense Minister, External Affairs Minister, etc. Now, are they also members of Parliament? Yes. Our Prime Minister is the member of Lok Sabha. Our Home Minister is also a member of Lok Sabha. Defense Minister is also the member of Lok Sabha. Our Finance Minister, member of Rajya Sabha. External Affairs Minister, member of Rajya Sabha. So statement one is correct. If statement one is correct, then option B is going to get eliminated, and option C is also going to get eliminated. Why? Because there is no one in option B and option C. Second question, sorry, second statement. The ministers, that is the executive, they hold the office till they enjoy the confidence in the parliament. Now, this is the crux of the this is the crux of what we call as the parliamentary form of government. That is, the ministers are answerable to whom? They are answerable to the parliament. That is, the ministers are accountable to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and specifically to whom? To Lok Sabha. So this is what this statement is telling. So statement two is also correct. Statement two is correct, but we see two options are left. Both the options has one and two, and here also there is one and two. Now third one becomes the tiebreaker. Okay. Now what is this third one? Third one says the cabinet is headed by the head of the state. Now, there are two heads. In a parliamentary form of government, there are two heads, nominal head and the real head. Now, who is the nominal head? The nominal head in our parliamentary democracy is somebody called as the President of India. And who is the real head? It is the Prime Minister of India. Now, this nominal head is also whom we call as the head of the state. And this real head is whom we call as the head of the government. Now, who is this real head? That is the head of the government. It is the prime minister. So, who heads this cabinet? Prime minister or president? It is obviously the prime minister. So, cabinet is headed by the head of the state. So, who is the head of the state? The head of the state is president. So, this statement is wrong. So, if this statement is wrong, option D is wrong. So, what is left out? That is option A. So, the correct answer of this question is option A. So with this, we are finishing the questions that were asked in the UPSC prelims from the topics that we have discussed so far. So always remember, my dear friends, that whenever you study a topic, make sure that whenever you watch a video, make sure that you're making notes out of it. You are revising from your class notes. You are also revising from the standard book, that is M. Lakshmikant. And if you have any doubt, you can always ask the doubts in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer your doubts. And once you revise from the standard book and from your class notes, the most important thing that you need to do is you need to go through the previous year questions asked of those topics. Only when you solve the previous year questions, you will get to know what kind of questions the UPSC is asking. What is the mindset of UPSC while framing such questions? So I hope this video is helpful for your preparation. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll be seeing you in our coming videos.